What do we have to do to be saved? This is a question I get asked somewhat frequently. It's a question that Christians have asked for a long time. It's a question that Jesus was essentially asked in John chapter 3. What do we have to do to be saved? But I want to suggest to you this morning that there's a better question to be asked than what do we have to do. And it's what should we do? In 1 Corinthians chapter 10, Paul says this to the Corinthians. He says, I have the right to do anything, you say, but not everything is beneficial. I have the right to do anything, but not everything is constructive. Not everything is good for us. The question is not really, what must we do? What do we have to do? And there is a time and there is a place to answer that question and to ask that question. But a far better question is, what should we do? What is beneficial? Sometimes we treat our relationship with God strictly asking that question, what do I have to do? And we don't ask that for any other relationship. Now imagine if I went up to my wife, I went up to Mallory in the morning and I said, hey honey, what do I have to do today in order for you to stay married to me? What do I have to do? What is the bare minimum that I have to do to be married to you at the end of this day? She might think there's something already wrong with our marriage if I start asking that question. Because in reality, the questions that we ask, the way we go about approaching our relationships, it really tells a lot about what we think of those relationships. If I go up to my wife and I ask her, what do I have to do in order to stay married to you? She's going to think that something is wrong, and she would be right. Now, if I go to God and I ask him, what do I have to do in order for you, almost like a contract, to bring forth what you said you would do for me? See, even the tone of that, I kind of raised my tone a little bit just to show you that question really doesn't ask the right thing. If you want to get the most out of your faith, don't simply ask, what do you have to do? Ask what you should do. And similarly with my marriage, if I go to my wife and I say to her, what can I do for you today? In reality, I'm going to get far more out of my marriage than asking, what do I have to do for you? Because that's not how relationships work. When we approach God, we should ask the question, Lord, what should I do for you? Instead of asking, what do I have to do for you? There's nothing wrong with asking, what do we have to do? But you will find that you will have a miserable faith week after week if all you try to do is the bare minimum that God requires of you. You'll find that when you start asking, what should I do for the Lord today? Your faith becomes more enjoyable. You're able to enjoy what God has for you far more than if you simply approach it asking, what is the bare minimum that God requires of me? Well, church, that's what I have for you today. One announcement on Sunday, we are making plans to offer communion in a safe way to anyone willing to sort of drive through with us. And we're going to announce the plans and the specifics of that. We're still working some of that out. I would remind you also, we're still looking for a few people to help with Amanda. We've had some people call already and get some information about that. But we're doing a food drive with that, and there's a lot of families in need. So if that's something you'd be interested in supporting, or physically or financially, just get a hold of me. Well, church, I love you. Have a great day, and may the Lord bless you.